All right, welcome to NECC Week 2. We have Purdue Gold here versus Akron Blue. Purdue Gold got the first MAC pick, and they chose Lijiang Tower. Still waiting on the
Very,
bans here.
very solid map. Glad to see it's still in the pool. I feel like most teams go for a Lijiang pick in the first round.
Definitely super common pick. Also looks like it's daytime now, which is kind of weird because I'm used to seeing it in nighttime. And the stream is still showing a nighttime picture, so it's going to be a little bit of a different view.
It definitely is whiplash seeing it in night for the past 10 years, I believe, since Overwatch 1 came out.
Definitely.
Not so night market now.
Interesting. So Purdue decides to ban the Bastion. I think Bastion is very strong right now, honestly. He does a ton of damage, and especially in a brawl composition right here, he can kind of burn through everything at close range before you can really get on the other team.
Yes. Also, something to think about is with the addition of Jetpack Cat being able to just turn Bastion into a Apache helicopter, very annoying to shoot down, so maybe they're trying to prevent that without using their Jetpack Cat ban yet, but it's definitely a very strong hero that teams will have to learn to play around.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I've experienced some hardships against the Jetpack Cat Bastion combination. If you had a Life Weaver in there, that basically just does not die at all.
There was some nerfs, I believe, earlier today to Jetpack Cat, trying to limit some of the mobility, but I'm not sure exactly how impactful that'll be. It's just a numbers game at that point.
Yeah, I feel like just the design of the character, it's going to be hard to make it completely unusable just with how unique it is.
It is nice to see new mechanics get added into the game, a little bit of a fresh air instead of recycling the same mechanics across heroes.
Oh, definitely.
Will come with some hiccups though.
Let's see if Akron's gonna submit their ban here. Still trying to get the roster order set. Or did they not? Oh, ban Lucio. There it is. That's another interesting ban that makes it seem like they aren't too keen on mirroring the rush here on Lijiang, which is typically the type of composition you're gonna see. Sometimes you will see, some more of a poke style composition, especially, on night market with how many different angles and windows there are into the point. So maybe we'll see something like that here.
Absolutely. Even with the Lucio ban, there's still a lot of good options for a brawl comp. Seeing with the new hero, I believe Mizuki, if I'm remembering the name correctly, now has a passive Lucio-like aura for speed, and we also have Juno for the speed rings. Lucio is still probably the best pick, but there are definitely options to still play that same play style with the Lucio ban.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely been interesting to see the evolution of the rush comp here, because for basically forever you needed Lucio in the composition, but now they've finally been adding other characters with a speed boost, which definitely lets you mix things up a little bit. Looks like the other team's having some technical difficulties with how many people are playing the game. I guess there's a queue to get in.
Wasn't aware that was still a thing. I remember when the update first dropped, there was quite a queue, but I expected it to die down by now. Seeing that screen always brings back memories of when Overwatch 2 first dropped and they just didn't have enough server space.
Oh yeah.
Waiting in line, waiting on that queue screen for hours.
Actually, looks
With
like it's
the
a Purdue member having the issues. Sorry, go ahead.
with the bans out of the way, hopefully things will be undergone as soon as we get that reconnect.
Yeah, it looks like everything else should be set up. It looks so weird just seeing Lijiang in the day. Like it's kind of baffling me here. I don't even the little I don't know if you can see in the picture the little pig icon. Has that always been there? That feels new to me. I don't know if it's just the lighting making it seem like it's completely different.
I believe it has. Kind of staring into your soul as you wait and spawn.
I guess I gotta start looking at the maps a little bit more.
I always love the small details that you miss a lot of the time when you're just rushing past to get to point.
Yeah, for sure. Wonder what this says.
There's
Does that say night market? I feel like this says night market.
I'm pretty sure the map is night market, or the sub map point.
Yes. Oh, and we are entering the match here.
Now arriving at Lijiang Tower, initiating match.
Oh yeah, this is a beautiful place in the daytime. Blinding sun. I still prefer the nighttime version, I think, though. Oh, and we're back to the lobby.
Things happen. It's always fun on both sides of the production.
They did not remove the banned heroes.
Now arriving
All right,
at
take two.
Lijiang Tower, initiating match.
Back on Gardens.
I'm curious to see what we see here. If like you were saying, if we'll see a Lucio replacement for the speed boost, or if both teams are kind of just gonna give up on the rush style.
It is unfortunate that it doesn't seem like we'll be seeing many Lucio boops as teams try to cross that bridge,
Ready for battle.
but they'll make do. Seems like both teams are coming out with the Mirror Vendetta very strong this season and past season.
They might try something.
Yeah, practically mirror comps here. Only the tank is the difference. Akron does have the Wrecking Ball for the boop capabilities, but that might not be applicable here with both teams immediately teleporting to point off spawn.
I'm very curious how this ball pick will play out. I know Zarya specifically is very powerful with Vendetta, being able to bubble Vendetta in to get free charge and make space.
Absolutely. Already an early pick here from Akron along with the DPS of Purdue, but they get an immediate trade with the suicide there of the Soldier.
The objective.
Defend the point.
Trades are going back
Looks
and
like-
forth here.
It'll be Akron with the first point.
It'll be interesting to see if Purdue sticks with the Zarya, and looks like they do switch off to the Diva, along with going Brigitte as well. Definitely much better picks to deal with the Wrecking Ball here.
What's up?
Still setting up for a push. Looks like they might be going left here, trying to avoid the bridge. Or held that choke point. Wrecking Ball behind them. Sojourn looking for a pick. Team's just trying to deal with this Wrecking Ball in their backlines. Diva goes over the gap.
It's a good pick right there. And the Wrecking Ball is low too, so they forced it out for now. Purdue has a chance here to pick up this team. Huge move.
Diva D-Mac. Very nice. Ball contesting. Trying to get the extra percentage as the team regroups.
Big pick there. I'm liking what I'm seeing here from the Brigitte. I don't think I've seen a missed whip shot yet.
Ball just doing what Ball does best here. Not leaving that point alone.
That rally super important as well, as Poodle was falling low, but allows him to stay alive here, and it looks like they can finish up the ball as well.
I believe with that minefield, both teams should be even on ult usage. However, Gold seems to be coming up on 3 ults here.
Big ult there from Poodle as they clean up the rest of Akron here. However, the point still has not flipped, and Akron does get to 99% there.
Purdue playing very well, but just unable to clear that ball that's been contesting the objective.
Going into next fight, teams are pretty evenly matched on the ult percentage. Joker's gonna need to keep that Diva on here, most likely.
We see the rush come out from both teams.
Big fix here on Akron's side. They've already got both DPS. Looks like they're gonna finish the fight here.
Nobody left to touch, unfortunately. Looks like it'll be Akron's point.
I think the real difference maker on that point was the Wrecking Ball. They just, Purdue, even after making the switch to Diva and Brigitte, definitely struggled to deal with the ball, and it just caused so much chaos in the back line.
Have you switched the scene to the gameplay view yet?
Ah, great point. I think we're there now. You know, the first point actually did not happen. It's 0-0, Purdue has yet to lose. And we're starting Lijiang Tower now. Looks like Purdue's going with a more brawly comp this time. They won't keep the Sim, but they do have the Junker Queen and the Mei here to fight closer. We'll see how it works against the ball on a more close range map.
Gold setting up on points. Akron's Vendetta gets low and falls back. Akron setting up nice on that high ground. They drop to finish off the rest of Purdue. The Queen is holding on. It gets pummeled by the rest of the team as Gold begins to leave spawn again.
Yeah, although the Queen was able to stay alive for most of that fight, it just seems like she was a little bit too split to take advantage of all the chaos there. But an early pick here from Purdue will let them go in fast.
Looks like Mei might be looking for a wall here. Might be a valuable tool to get that Wrecking Ball away from the rest of the team.
Huge teleport there from Kiriko to get out of the axe swing. That would have definitely been a fight changer if they could take up.
This ends now.
Rally's committed here as well, but it seems like it's a little bit too little too late here as most of the team has already fallen.
Cybernetics regulated.
Mei walling off, trying to let the team fall back to spawn. Akron taking aggressive angles, trying to get an early pick here before they can regroup. See a minefield from Wrecking Ball.
Big shield bash, but not quite enough, and Wrecking Ball still able to get to the Mega, and once again is immediately Junker Queen does have the ultimate here. We'll see if they can get something big, but they'll need to force out the Kiriko cleanse first.
It looks like Akron is off that high ground for this fight.
Purdue should be
Let's
able
see
to
if
win this
Purdue...
Both Vendettas ulting
See
here.
both Vendetta ults come out.
Although Purdue got the early picks, Akron is still committing ults. They get a few kills, but Purdue will win it out in the end here.
Trying to chase down what's left of Akron. We see a minefield from Wrecking Ball.
Big kill right there from the Brigida as well. I've really been liking what I've been seeing out of the Brigida so far.
Both teams are setting up. Queen taking this angle on White Room. Going in for a pick on the supports. Gets it on Wuyong. Sojourn falls back. They're able to clean up that split team.
A little bit too much of an overcommit there from the Queen. Purdue does win the fight, it looks like, without committing any ults, but Akron will have the opportunity to re-engage here quickly as the Queen still comes back from spawn. Purdue does still have an ult advantage going into this next fight, and hopefully will only need either the Juno or Queen ult to win it here. We'll see what happens.
They can get a pick. I was gonna say before the overclock comes out. But even then, Sojourn is stuck onto that side without clear angle on the rest of the team. It seems to go down without making any use of that overclock.
Purdue does have to
Purdue
use
seems
both ults.
They still seem to be at a slight advantage, coming up on 3 ults here, while Akron has only 2 ults above 80. Maybe 2 ults coming up after that. This next fight.
He's able to get some kills.
Goes down to the Wuyong, but the rest of the team is already dead on points. So that's going to be going to Purdue Gold.
Since we didn't even see the first point, Purdue is up 1-0. I think the main difference maker there was the ult economy. Akron basically got no value out of their ultimates once Purdue capped the point. It really seemed like Sojourn ult was the only one they were able to build, but when the Sojourn tried to flank outside, that was pretty promptly shut down by the Vendetta player on Purdue's side.
That is not a good excuse. I'm cooking for you later.
Looks like Purdue is keeping the same comp. Maybe with Symmetra teleport. But it seems like they've been quick to get off, just trying to get that quick speed burst.
Yeah, I was interested to see if any teams would try the immediate teleport to the point here, but it looks like Purdue is just going to continue to use that to get out of spawn.
Quick pick from Vendetta onto Brigitte.
Wow, just like that, Purdue falling quickly, and Akron's going to win the first fight pretty decisively.
Wrecking Ball taking a sneaky angle up there. Looking for an early pile drive. They go through the other door.
Pick to
Seems
start the
like-
fight.
Fortunately, just kind of all crumbled too quickly there. Akron taking that win.
Purdue definitely got caught off there on the rotation. Looks like Purdue is going to go to the sim. I think they're going to try and TP directly onto the point here, considering the struggles they had there making any sort of rotation. Sim definitely helps with making easy rotations to the point.
They commit into Akron's backline instead of directly to points. Getting early pick onto Sojourn. Wuyong might be next, and Wuyong goes down. We're looking at a 4v3 after Symmetra falls. Looks like ball got caught on the inside of that door falling. Next is Vendetta. Sojourn's coming back from spawn, but trying not to trickle here.
Definitely a good move there by Purdue to go onto the Symmetra. Helped a lot with moving in closely to Akron. There's just so much movement and so many abilities to escape on that team that running at them with Queen really isn't feasible. So it's good for them,
Akron with 4 ults coming up on a 5th with a huge advantage. Let's see how Purdue plays this. Sojourn just not dying with that Kiriko. But they both go down. Forcing out that Wuyong ult. Akron has spent 2 ults this fight already. It seems to still be losing momentum here.
Kill. Joker Queen's really doing a lot of work here in this fight. Joker's hit, I think, 3, now 4 consecutive axe throws there, and it's causing a lot of chaos and forcing not only cooldowns, but the Wuyang ult, as you said before.
Beautiful to watch. It's roughly even with ults as we see Ray come out from Juno. Akron doesn't seem to be committing any ults here. Fight seems roughly even. Vendetta goes down to the Sojourn. Queen pops ult.
Ambitious ult there at the end, and Purdue's ult economy is not looking great. They do have the Symmetra wall here though, so they can teleport to point and get an easy advantage there, but Wrecking Ball is going to drop the minefield on wherever the teleporter goes.
And we see exactly that. Vendetta ult coming out, being able to go through the wall. Looks like Akron with 2, now 3 picks. Purdue trying to stagger, but it's a team kill going into overtime. And first map goes to Akron.
Akron with the first map win there. Looks like the main issue on Purdue's side did have to do with, after initially switching to the Sim, which seemed like a good pick at the start, it just felt like the team wasn't playing effectively with the teleporter. I think, you know, if they were able to teleport the Queen quickly on one of the backline members like, you know, the Wuyang or the Sojourn, and, you know, pick them out, it would have been, you know, a lot more beneficial, but it felt like the Sim and the Queen were playing a little bit too split, and it resulted in each of them getting picked off.
That aside, it was a very fun game to watch. The teams seemed to be quite close.
Oh, 100%.
Going almost into double overtime there. 2-1 on the first map. That Queen, as you mentioned, was doing quite a bit, forcing out several ults in a fight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if this is the type of team compositions we see throughout the whole match here, or if this is really just a control thing. It seemed clear to me that Akron wasn't too keen on playing the rush style with the Lucio ban, and especially with the Wrecking Ball pick. You know, oftentimes Wrecking Ball players, that's by far their best tank, so it's possible we'll see the Wrecking Ball played all throughout.
One thing that did catch my eye was that we didn't see any of the 5 new heroes that was just added. Both teams, I guess, playing it safe, not using things that they haven't scrimmed as much with. I guess we'll have to wait and see if they do try to pull any of those heroes out of their back pocket in these later games.
Yeah, and looks like Purdue is going to choose New Junk City, which does favor the rush sort of composition, along with the Wuyang ban here, which you know, Akron was playing a lot of last map. Let's see what Akron decides to ban here as well.
Banning Queen.
That's interesting, yeah. It doesn't shock me there, as the Queen definitely did quite a lot for Purdue in the last match. It felt like that's what sort of saved them there on second point of Lijiang Tower, although it wasn't enough to fix it all in the end. I think that's definitely a big ban. We'll see what Purdue decides to go with here instead.
Traveling to Midtown City. Initiating match.
I never noticed the music on this map. It's kind of good. I feel like that's definitely been a lost part of Overwatch, where in the past, before the whole map voting system, you'd load into the map and you'd get the iconic music coming in from it. I feel like I don't hear that anymore. Maybe it's still a thing and I'm just ignorant to it, but that's something I would always associate with Overwatch, and I don't really notice these days.
When you have a second, can you check OBS? I just got somebody saying that there's a buzzing sound to the audio. Seems like Purdue Gold is rolling out with the Zarya and Vendetta once again with that Queen pick. Akron does come out with Jetpack Cats. So, first new hero we've seen so far, see how they use it. It looks like Jetpack Cat and Bastion go down early. That Ball is having trouble with the Mei, but is able to get out. Just kind of stall on point here, as the rest of the team regroups.
Yeah, despite
Purdue switches to D.Va.
Big contest there from the D.Va on Purdue, although it may not be enough as the mech is getting low.
Akron does take points as Purdue jumps off to regroup. They're doing what they can, but they're split. Vendetta is now alone down in that basement. Unable to get out, gets picked. But with Lucio picking Akron's Vendetta, it is even.
Wow.
Jetpack Cat being a menace.
Despite the early pick at the beginning on the Jetpack Cat, it really didn't do enough, as the Wrecking Ball could just stall for so long, and Purdue was unable to finish off, the remaining characters there on Akron's side.
And it does seem like we got that Apache helicopter brought up earlier.
Purdue does have the Kitsune advantage here, and they're coming on beat as well. We'll see if that's enough to win the fight.
See a Blizzard come out. Purdue with 3 picks. Vendetta getting that Kiriko.
Good fight win from Purdue there. Only had to utilize the Blizzard and the Kitsune. That being said, Akron is coming up with some big ults here. They have both support ults coming up. Purdue does have the beat, which may be enough to counter some of it, but it's not going to be enough to counter all 3 of Akron's big ults.
Ball trying to backcap, take attention away from the front lines as Akron continues to set up. Vendetta goes in and gets a pick off of Lucio. There's a Vendetta duel. Purdue comes out on top. Jumps back to point and get a crit on that Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball tries to get away. Bastion Cat on this wide angle. Gets pushed out by Vendetta. 2 simultaneous picks from Akron, putting it at a 3v5. Diva D-Mech'd and falls. Looks like it's gonna be a win, seeing how much this May can stall.
And there she falls. A little bit of an ambitious Diva Bomb there. Does manage to get the jetpack cap, but ultimately not nearly enough to win the fight there. Akron also did not have to commit any ultimates there. Purdue, on the other hand, did use the Diva Bomb and the Vendetta ult, but they still have the beat and they're coming up on Kitsune again, so they definitely have enough here to still win this fight.
Bastion behind takes out Kiriko for an early pick.
Sound barrier gets cancelled as well, and just like that, Purdue's going to lose the fight and a very important ultimate. What is this? This is a little intimidating.
I believe this is why Purdue went for the Bastion ban the first round. It's very interesting to watch, trying to stop myself from laughing here, seeing the Bastion get thrown around. Less funny to play against.
Yeah, despite all of that, Purdue is able to pick off some of the remaining members. However, it may not be enough
Jetpack
here.
Cat drops Bastion to go and ult. Purdue trying to finish up this fight on point. Bastion falls. We see a minefield from Wrecking Ball. Diva is D-Mech'd. And it looks like Diva might be cleaned up here, unless... Never mind.
The Cassidy's done as well. Interesting pick on the Cassidy. It can help, especially against the flying characters. But honestly, the damage fall off is a little bit too much to take care of the Bastion when he's flying.
My ultimate is ready. Join me.
Looks like the shootout's moving along. Well, hello. Might as well follow.
Looking onto this fight here, Purdue does have a slight ult advantage with both the Bomb, Deadeye, and the Kitsune coming up. Meanwhile, Akron only has the Kitsune. Will be enough to take care of the jetpack cap.
Diva attempts to commit, but just gets shot out by the Bastion jetpack cats.
Purdue is able to win the fight with just the Diva Bomb, so that's huge, and Akron was forced to commit the Kitsune.
Opening with an artillery.
Yeah. Got too much damage. The Bastion also opted for the grenade perk with the shooting configuration, so that just does a ton of damage, especially from the air here. They don't even see him off on the angle.
That cannon perk is going to be really helpful to get that longer range damage, less spread. Just further committing to that attack helicopter playstyle.
The Diva did a good job there of containing the Bastion jetpack cat combination, but it was just a little bit too late at that point. Purdue had already lost, 3 members here. We'll see if this time the Diva can get on the Bastion a little bit earlier.
Deadeye committed, but gets nobody. Does force out that Vendetta who's won right now. But Akron takes the game.
Yeah, some good adjustments there from Purdue with characters like the Diva, but the Bastion carried by the jetpack cat is just a little bit too much to deal with. It'll be interesting to see if Purdue opts for the Jetpack Cat ban on this next map here, since it seems like they aren't, they don't have quite the composition to deal with it yet.
Map pick is also gonna go into this if Purdue could also find a map that's less open, that giving the Jetpack Cat less range to haul around that bastion without being able to just get easily gunned down by their hit scan.
100%.
Maybe save the Jetpack Cat ban for a rainy day.
So Purdue will pick Esperanza here as the third map. I think that's a good choice. There's a lot of open space here. Harder for the Bastion to, get easy, access. I guess the main part here would be the center of the map by the Mega. There are some arches and vertical spots where, the Bastion and Jetpack Cat could hide. Looks like Purdue will also go with the ball ban, which I think is, probably equivalent to the Jetpack Cat ban here. Both seem pretty crucial to Akron's comp. So I think, saving the Jetpack Cat ban, once again, could be quite beneficial. And looks like we're just going to take a little break here as the teams prepare for the next map, so we'll be back in just a moment. Alright, so while the teams are still on break here, looks like the bans have been submitted. As we mentioned before, Purdue is banning the Wrecking Ball, while Akron decided to ban Cass here. So it looks like they're definitely going to be committing to that Jetpack Cat here. They're eliminating the hit scan Purdue tried to use last time to counter it. I'm a little surprised they wouldn't ban the Diva instead, although the Diva doesn't quite have the kill potential. I feel like it does a little bit of a better job of shutting down that combination for just one character. We'll see if Purdue opts now to play a different hit scan though to counter the Jetpack Cat.
We could see a Diva ban, however, I do believe Purdue blocked the tank ban with the Wrecking Ball ban.
Ah, I did not know that how that works. That's good to know. Okay, that makes more sense than why they wouldn't block the Diva.
I am interested to see what type of comps Akron will run now that the ball is gone. They seem to be using ball as the pinpoints for the rest of the map so far.
I agree. It'll be interesting to see if they only decide to make a tank change. They could go something like Diva on their own. Diva can, work somewhat as her own standalone character. I mean, even Hog to some degree, although nearly not as much movement. Or they might surprise us and just go some completely different team comp. Although it seems like they do have still a bit of an aversion to playing some kind of brawler rush comp, so I don't expect that, especially given Esperance isn't the best map for that. It's also interesting we haven't gotten any Vendetta bans yet. Seems like both teams are quite committed to playing the character, and they both want to play it, and they're fine dealing with the negatives that may come with needing to face that monster.
I am curious if Akron was planning to go Jetpack Cat and Bastion, why they opted for the Junker Queen ban this last map. I feel like the Bastion would have been particularly good and get into that strategy. And it gave Purdue the chance to swap around to Diva, which is more effective.
Yeah, one thing we haven't even considered is Purdue mirroring the Jetpack Cat with the Bastion. That definitely is an option as well. I don't know, with how little time Jetpack Cat has been out, they may not be comfortable with the character yet. But it's definitely an option as well for a potential counter to the composition. But I think we're going to see a little bit of a different look on both sides here with the Wrecking Ball gone.
Be seeing the compositions in a second.
Ready for battle.
Looks like we are getting a Jetpack Cat, still one DPS yet to choose. We got a Queen Lucio on the side of Purdue, along with the Soldier and Vendetta that we've seen in past maps.
3, 2, 1.
Akron was on Mizuki but switched to Kiriko, so it seems like we're going to see a lot of the same that we've seen before.
Yeah, interesting comp coming in here from Akron. They have the Ramattra, but I guess no speed to really get them in on the engage, but the Jetpack Cat, I guess, is what they're going to use as the alternative there.
One thing to note with Jetpack Cat is that it's good for a single character like a tank to engage, but it does leave the rest of the team behind, which could be a big weakness if it means you have to engage without the team behind you.
Exactly, I agree, and I think Akron is somewhat covering for that weakness here with Tracer, Vendetta, Kiriko, all characters that can get in there super quickly, so it could make up for the fact of not having. Purdue did
It's
get
like Purdue is going to...
yeah. Despite the early frags, Tracer with 2 huge kills there with the what is his emo here? Alright.
Vendetta emoting on point.
But yeah, huge play from the Tracer there, getting both the Lucio on the melee, along with the Pulse Bomb stick on the Junker Queen, which happened to kill the Soldier as well.
Vendetta with an early pick on Purdue's Vendetta. The last thing you want is a Vendetta in your face. There's not a lot most characters can do once you get into a close quarters of Vendetta.
Not at all. Akron's Vendetta here is doing a ton of damage, this fight. About to come up on the ultimate too, and I fully expect them to use it here on Purdue's next engage.
Looks like we got a Jetpack Cat ult taking out Lucio. Very interesting ult. Akron on the back pedal. Soldier looking for a pick onto Jetpack Cat, can't get an angle. We see ults popped.
Yeah, big
Ramatra
kills.
goes down, despite using Nemesis or Vortex.
Purdue does have to commit 3 ults there to Akron's 1, but it's definitely worth the fight win, especially with you know, Ramatra's ult just being so valuable here. Purdue still has both DPS ults, and early pick on the Ramatra is definitely what they need here.
Get cleanse. Tracer trying to harass that backline, but isn't able to get much value. Purdue gets 2. Visor used.
They're pushing the barricade.
Tracer might try to do something sneaky here. Might just fall back, wait for team to regroup. Doesn't seem like a fight Tracer would win with that soldier holding that long angle. Vendetta ult gets nothing. And that's 2 on Purdue, making it 3. Vendetta is trying to stay alive as they clean up the rest of the team.
Yeah, huge ult
All
there
5
from
are
Waft.
alive.
Definitely got a lot more value there than flashbang the Vendetta on Akron's side. Neither team is going to have any ultimates going into this fight, but support ults may come up during it.
Purdue is coming up on advantage here. Just 4 meters away. They can hold on. Waft goes down. Both DPS on side Purdue. They're respawn right behind this Junker Queen here. That fast spawn coming into clutch.
Huge kill there, and Akron is down the pulse bomb. No ultimates except for the Jetpack Cat one here on Akron. Meanwhile, Purdue is coming up on both support ults.
That bomb is going to come back and bite them. The Queen isn't able to heal up before that Tracer finishes them off. With a pick onto that soldier, Purdue's trying to regroup here back in spawn. Akron taking away those points.
Jetpack Cat does pop the ult. We'll see what he does.
Seems to have Lucio, but drops in the back lines, unable to get to a coast. Unable to save the Ramatra, who just gets hosed down with that Kitsune rush. Lucio trying to get an angle, it looks like.
Yeah, and although Jetpack Cat doesn't really get any value with its ult, Purdue does utilize both support ults here. Most of Akron is alive, although Purdue does have the card control.
Ramatra on the back pedal, getting pushed out of his ultimate. A pick on the Tracer. It looks even. Except Akron with both supports able to take out Junker Queen.
Yeah, big fight win there from Akron. they're also coming into this next fight here with a huge ult advantage. Purdue's only coming up on both DPS ults. Meanwhile, Akron has 3 ults and is coming up soon on Jetpack Camels as well.
Queen falls, but Ramatra goes with them, still even. Never mind.
And just like
I
that,
did not
everyone's
see the
dead.
Lucio pick.
Oh. So close to TPing out
Big
there.
stagger.
And another huge kill there from Akron. Akron still has ults here, but Purdue has an equal number.
See an early Vendetta ult, with taking out the Vendetta behind them. A Pet Cat misses the ult.
Yeah. See if they can kill the Ram here, and they do kill the Ram with the tactical visor. Big kill there.
On the side of Purdue, it looks like Queen and Kiriko can build up ults this next fight, and maybe Lucio, depending on how they play, into Akron's Thundering Blade and Vortex.
Yeah, getting the sound barrier would be huge for either of those ults here. We'll see if they can get it up, but they may not need to with all these picks coming through for Purdue.
Kiriko tried to get that forward spawn, but gets picked out by the Queen Soldier.
Oh,
We
Good
see an
question.
ult from Ram. Does knock them off, but gets nobody. The trade onto that Vendetta.
also misses.
Tracer half uses recall against the Vendetta.
Purdue does still have both support ults here. They should be able to win this fight with that, especially with the early cleanse used.
They seem to be going neck and neck in gunplay. However, Akron still has a big lead that Purdue has to cover in this overtime. Akron's Vendetta ult looking at getting 2, but they both survive. And B gets taken out.
Morph cancel there on the
They're
beat.
just trying to survive. And that's third map going to Akron.
I think Purdue definitely had the right idea with their team composition. Unfortunately, just at the end there, they weren't quite able to collapse on a single target. You know, I think if they played that type of comp the whole time, they may have had a better chance. I know Lucio was banned, you know, for some of the games, so wouldn't have been exactly easy. But I think that was the best map there to choose, and it was a good comp as well. Purdue, although falling here, definitely fought hard there throughout the whole match, and I think they'll definitely keep improving from here.
Definitely. It was a 3-0, but none of those maps were particularly far apart. Going into third point on control and then being able to push past that checkpoint on push, they were definitely putting up a strong fight. And I'm excited to see what Purdue Gold has the rest of the season.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Really, a lot of these best of 5 matches do come down to the control maps. Purdue was super close on control. You know, I believe, you know, it was like 90 something to 100 on the third point of Night Market there. So, you know, just flipping one of those Lijiang Tower points definitely puts them in a much better position there. So, you know, I think, you know, if they can clean up the gameplay a little bit on the control, they could definitely improve a lot here as a team. All right, well, it was a good match by Purdue there, although they lost. They'll be back next week, and hopefully we'll see a huge win out of them. Thank you for watching.